Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. The Heat trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Miami. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston. They beat this team in 5 games in the first round last year. That gives them some confidence, I'm sure.
And they swept this club in the regular season, but ended up falling to them in the playoffs.
Holiday with it. Over in the corner, White. And the shot goes down. And what a matchup we have here in the front court, Greg.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
Now, here's Banchero. Inside. And it's Adebayo in the corner. Good ball movement here by Miami. 5 on the clock. Taken away by Holiday. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Back to Brown. And he converts the layup.
Well, that's where you use your athleticism and agility if you're Jaylen Brown, navigating to a high percentage look.
Outside Robinson. Mitchell up top. And stolen by White. Brown with it. Now defended by Wiggins. And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That is his first foul of the game. Now Holiday. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Puts up a deep 3. Clock at 6. Outside Tatum. Brown inside the line. Can't nail the jumper.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
Well, G.A. Adebayo came from very humble beginnings.
Yeah, raised by his mother. And Kevin, Bam's main motivation in life was to get her out of that trailer. He worked extremely hard and now arguably a top 25 player.
Good on the triple.
That's Tatum's size and high release point. He's able to get that three-point shot off against virtually anybody.
Mitchell outside. Back to Robinson. And he can't stop the run as he misses. And here's Holiday. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. White, good.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Celtics leading by 10. Here's Tatum. Outside, White. Holiday with the 3. It's hauled in by Bam Adebayo. .146 left in the first quarter of the game. Robinson for 3. Nailed from three-point land.
And that ends the struggle. You can feel the tensions in the building with each miss.
And you've got to be able to show some resiliency, right? Keep pounding away, and it finally falls for you.
Back to Holiday. Sinks the triple.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Doors, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously, this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes, they led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
And here is Mitchell. Following Porzingis' 3. No one near Adebayo as he lets it go. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assist.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Now here is Holiday. Over in the corner, White. Boston needs to get off a shot. Fires from 18. Tatum, no good. Outside, Robinson. Off target from three-point range. Outside, Tatum. And so it's Boston going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their defense has been active and
the Celtics, 16.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Celtics.
Absolutely dialed in from beyond the arc so far in this one. The defense is surrendering the long-range shot here early on.
And the other thing I love, how they're making the extra pass. They're not settling for the first shot. They're going from good to great.
Mitchell outside. Floats one up.
And there's the length of Chris Middleton on full display. Great timing as well.
Poke loose. Holiday with it. And Jaquez picks him up defensively. Offensive rebound. And he's going to get whistled for that foul. Gee, that was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Middleton can't get it to go. The Heat trailed by 10. A shot by Burks. Nobody around. Here's Love. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss. Outside Holiday. Nice ball movement by Boston. And here's Porzingis for a three. Rebound Love. And we played through the first minute here in the second. And when Porzingis goes to work inside, Doris, there are not a lot of answers for his size.
We know, Kevin, obviously, that post-ups become less and less a part of the game, but still an important one opportunistically. And you talk about efficiency in the post, that is Kristaps Porzingis. But not only that, the mid-range game is there, the three-point game is there, and the defense is there.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, we all know about what Heat culture means. Bam Adebayo says we share the ball, we play together, and we know where the shots are going to come from. We're just blessed to have a team like this. Everybody buys in, everybody competes, and everybody wants to get the job done. Kevin, back to you.
They've got great chemistry. Thanks, David. Middleton inside the three-point line. Kicks it out to Garnett. A three ball. It's hauled in by the Heat.
And you can tell right there, the defense is totally fine with him shooting that. That's not his game.
Jaquez with the bucket.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Middleton looking it over. Pass to Hauser. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. The Heat trailed by 8. Jaquez with a wide-open look. Had the opportunity on the break, but couldn't sink the three. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. And a new group in for the Celtics. Rule adjustments, Doris, regarding the rip-through move. Do you think those have been effective?
Kevin, I certainly think we've taken a step in the right direction. We have got to give the defense more of a chance at this point, and the idea that you don't get shots on the rip-through is important.
Back to Garnett. There's the triple. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Garnett's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Mitchell looking it over. Pass to Love. Back to Mitchell. Love, high post. And stolen by Tatum. Puts up a deep three. He doesn't hit that one. And Love's got the ball here for the Miami Heat. A 12-point game. And here's Mitchell from the arc. The rebound by Garnett. And Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, receiving a record 8-year, $120 million extension. That's some big dough.
Is it ever? And remains coaching for the only NBA franchise he's ever worked for. Already one of the most tenured head coaches in the association, and that figures to continue for a while.
Robinson on the wing. Here's the three. Rebounded by the Celtics.
No idea why he's attempting so many outside shots. It's not his day, and he needs to either look to drive or get it to an open teammate.
Back to Tatum. Offline with his three.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
On deep, Adebayo. And Tatum pulls it down. Celtics leading by 15. The kick out to Brown. Pass to Garnett. Tatum a screen. And it's White missing. Outside Robinson. Mitchell outside. Here's Hackett. And that would have counted, but they have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. We come back right after this. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. The Heat trailed by 15. Pass to Banchero. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Banchero's got his first basket.
And this is the type of go-to scorer this team wants Banchero to be. They love his confidence.
Here's Pritchard. Fires from deep. And the three ball is good. Pritchard's got 6 points.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks Chelsea.
And it's Banchero missing. Celtics leading by 16. Pass to Pritchard. And here is Tatum. Shot clock at 6. Screen by Porzingis. Brown. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And Brown can score from anywhere, which is what makes him a big problem for the defense.
Now here's Wiggins. Good, and the assist goes to Mitchell. Wiggins has got himself on the board with 3 there.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Paolo Banchero. That's foul number 2 for him.
First team foul.
Here's Brown.
And you love how much heart Bam plays with defensively, working overtime on that possession.
You know, many see Brown as a scorer, but Doris, he's put more of an emphasis on his defense in recent seasons.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He's taken tremendous pride in asking his coaches to put him on the best offensive player. When he's the point of attack defensively, look out. He can give a lot of headaches to ball handlers.
And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
Kevin Garnett, Derek White.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Over in the corner, White hits the jumper in space. White's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Love to see Derek White go right up with it off the catch. No doubt right there. Just get the jumper flowing.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Bam Adebayo talked about how his mentality has evolved over his career. He said, shoot the ball. I feel like that's been my evolution. It sounds very simple. But I came into this league as a defender. I feel like the progression's been shoot the ball, worry about everything else later. Kevin?
He certainly, DA, is a two-way threat. Holiday with the three. Offensive rebound. Pass to White. The Celtics working the ball around now. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
Three-pointer.
White's got two now from beyond the arc in the third for the Celtics. Outside Robinson. Adebayo the screen. And Duncan Robinson with the three. Robinson's got 6.
Well, you can see it's a matter of pride out there for these guys.
Absolutely. When someone makes a shot, the first thought is, I want my own back.
Out to Porzingis. Pass to Holiday. Now here's White. And Holiday has it in the corner. 4 on the shot clock. This one for 3. Back to White. Middleton outside. And here's Porzingis for a 3. Bangs home the trifecta. 9 points in the game so far.
Well, the three-point shooting of Kristaps Porzingis is so prolific. You've got to guard him out there.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Pass to Holiday. Back to Porzingis. Three-pointer. That shot is off.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Robinson with it. Back to Adebayo. Holiday with it. Now defended by Mitchell. And Holiday is good for 3.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
Screen by Porzingis. It's Garnett on the wing. Derek White has been on display for Boston. He ends up dropping in 2 from distance, making a difference.
The Celtics, 47.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. After this game, they can look forward to L.A., where they'll match up against the Clippers. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Here's Rozier. The rebound by Garnett.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
I think expect them to go back to it because that's the kind of shot this offense is designed to generate.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Here's Mitchell. That one wide left.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Pulls up. Rozier for 3. And Boston with the rebound. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Pass to Garnett. Tatum on the wing. Garnett the screen. And Garnett with the slam.
You do not want to give up passing lanes off the screen. How about Jason Tatum with a decisive look there?
Near the three-point line, it's Mitchell. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
Oof, that is a tough shot.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Tatum wide open, he fires one. That 3 off the mark.
Well, it hasn't been the most efficient game for this guy, but their team is fortunate to still be out in front.
The drive by Mitchell. Good on the bucket. Mitchell's got 4 points in the quarter.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
And here's Tatum for three. Good on the three-point shot.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
Mitchell's shot is good.
Boy, he's been cooking, but the teammates, he's just not getting a lot of support from them.
Tatum on the wing. Tatum with another miss.
Well, this has not been his finest hour, but give your teammates some credit for doing the job of stepping in. I'm sure if he had the chance to do that possession over again, he would not have taken the shot.
Left side, Brown. Connects from three-point range.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
The screen from Brown.
Assisted.
This guy, one of the most elite athletes in the game, Jaylen Brown, finishes beautifully.
Here's Mitchell. The rebound by Middleton.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
And you have to like how they're moving the ball right now.
Snappy passes to ready shooters. It's basketball 101. But boy, is it working.
It's good from long range.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
And the way he was able to reach out towards that release had an impact.
Well, no question, he altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Boston.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Jrue Holiday.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
Pass to Porzingis. Screen by Porzingis. Here's Holiday. The rebound by Anderson.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
On the wing, Mitchell. Anderson the screen. To halt the run, Garnett with the block.
KG has always had tremendous instincts, sends another one back the way it came.
And so the Celtics now can just hold on to the ball. Now here is Holiday. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This one was overwhelming.